The man instantly recognized that the painting in front of him was worth millions. But just by looking at the surface, the painting seemed like a fake. This made the shop owner worry that the man might be mistaken, but the man didn't explain. He simply brought a cup of water and poured it over the painting. Then he tore off the surface layer of the painting. It turned out there was another painting hidden underneath, and the one underneath was the true antique worth millions. The man's skill deeply impressed the owner. Right after, the owner quickly called his daughter. He told her to try and make this man her boyfriend. But what the owner didn't know was, just one day earlier, the man was just an ordinary college student. At that time, he ran across the road in a hurry and got hit by a car. And the one who hit him was the prettiest girl in their class. When she realized she had hit someone, she rushed over to check if the guy was okay. But unexpectedly, her best friend held her back. Because the guy had tried to pursue the pretty girl before, her friend thought he was faking it. She told her not to bother with him. Soon after, the man stood up on his own, and he realized something was strange with his eyes. He could see right through everyone around him. He saw their bones and blood vessels. While he was still trying to figure out what was happening to him, the best friend started mocking him again. She even pulled out a few $100 to humiliate him. Watching them walk away arrogantly, the man swore he would rise above them all. He went back to his dorm room. Then he realized his X-ray vision was still working. He immediately saw through his roommate's laptop, and he also discovered that the old coin his roommate always carried was actually an antique. An idea suddenly came to his mind. He casually asked his roommate if he could buy the coin from him. Surprisingly, the roommate just gave him the coin. The man took the coin straight to an antique shop. He asked the owner how much it was worth. The owner took out a magnifying glass and examined it closely. He found that it was indeed an antique, so he offered $1,200 to buy it back. But the man had already researched the market price online. He thought the offer was too low, so he asked for a better deal. In the end, the owner bought it for $1,400. The owner also told him that if he found any more good antiques, he should bring them to his shop first. With the money from the sale, the man went to the street market to look for more antiques. Because most people don't know much about antiques, sometimes very valuable ones end up being sold cheap at random stalls. The man used his X-ray vision again. Eventually, he spotted a snuff bottle at one stall. He pretended to be a clueless college student. He haggled over the price. In the end, the snuff bottle worth tens of thousands was bought by the man for only $200. He brought the snuff bottle back to the same antique shop. To his surprise, the school beauty was also there. From her, he learned that the shop was actually owned by her father. The owner he had met earlier was her dad. He ignored the girl and went straight to the owner again. He wanted to sell the snuff bottle. The girl was shocked to see him selling antiques, because he had always seemed like a regular guy in school. Now suddenly, he was dealing antiques, so she couldn't help but mock him. "If that snuff bottle is a real antique," she said, "then I'll be your girlfriend." But as soon as she finished saying that, her father told her that the bottle was a genuine antique. This made her both angry and embarrassed. Finally, after her father's appraisal, he said the snuff bottle was worth 60,000 yuan, but the man figured he'd need the father's help again in the future. So he sold it to him for just 50,000. The father was pleased and thought the man had good character. He even told his daughter to get closer to him. She followed her father's advice. On the way back, she even offered to drive him home. Unexpectedly, the other girl, the one who had hit him, saw this happen. The man returned to his dorm room and saw his roommate trading stocks. Then he realized his X-ray vision could even see the future trend of stock prices. But his roommate didn't believe him. In the end, the roommate lost a lot of money. During class, the professor was teaching the students about stock trading. He even told them which stock would rise in the future. But when the man used his X-ray vision, he saw that the truth was different from what the teacher said. In the end, the man was kicked out of class by the teacher. But just after he left the classroom, the stock moved exactly the way the man had predicted. His classmates began to feel he had changed. One day, the man wanted to go to the antique market again. Unexpectedly, the class beauty suddenly pulled up in her car in front of him. She offered to give him a ride to the antique market. On the way there, she warned him not to get too close to the school beauty, but the man didn't take her words seriously. He arrived at the shop owned by the school beauty's father. He noticed that several antique shop owners were also there. They were trying to appraise a porcelain vase, but these owners lacked the skill to make a conclusion. The man man took one look and saw it was a fake. The owners didn't believe this young man. One of them even made a bet with him. If the man turned out to be right, he could pick any antique he wanted from that owner's shop. Then they brought in a professional appraiser to verify it. Unexpectedly, the results matched exactly what the man had said. The man won the bet, just like that. Everyone then went straight to that owner's antique shop. With the help of his X-ray vision, he picked out the most valuable antique in the store. This made the owner quite troubled. After all, it was the most important item in his entire collection. Seeing how conflicted the owner was, the man offered to take cash instead, and even at half price. In the end, the owner happily transferred the money to him, and with the help of his X-ray vision, the man began climbing step by step to the peak of his life.